7:14. Oh, wishing who is that during the what?
Pinkston, you say?
Yeah,
Pinkston Middle School. They're going to St. Louis to go to on a science fair expedition.
All-day event, leaving out at 6 this morning. We'll return at midnight. So
say a prayer for these folks.
Absolutely.
Keep them safe.
There you go.
It's Friday, folks. Bob's here this week in real estate. Of course, Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs. Bob and Linda Zdora, the award-winning Z Team. Mr. Bob.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been busy, kids. It's been there's a lot of showings. There's a lot of people in town. If you tried to drive around yesterday, you probably sat through a light or two. If you were at 62, normally you get through on that one light. You sat through two a couple of times during the day yesterday.
Been busy.
There's a lot of people in town, a lot of out-of-state plates.
They're probably getting a motel room for the ball game in Fayetteville today.
and there's people that'll be in Fayetteville that'll just be, well, as long as we're this far, let's go.
Yeah.
And they'll end up over here. They've heard about the area, they've heard about the lakes, the rivers, whatever it may be, that the other part of what brings them to the natural state. And they will come here and they will just kind of look around and see. We had a couple down from Texas that Linda spent 2 days with, showing houses and stuff. Had never really been here. One of those things, they had heard about it. They've been online. They've seen the webpage and came down, and they're seriously looking at houses. Just, through the internet, through word of mouth, through the type of advertising that we do and getting the word out. The Chamber does a great job. The station does a great job by just being on the internet and people being able to pick it up no matter where it may be. That helps a great deal. We got the links on our page. And we help promote the station, obviously, as you do, Jared, and stuff, because that's what it is. It's all part of the whole package.
The whole fabric.
It really is. It is the fabric of the thing. I'm going to go to First Friday over at El Chico's, and everybody gets a minute when they speak. And I will speak about, obviously, I'll speak about us being realtors and the great job we can do for you. But the other part that I always speak about is supporting each other as members of the chamber. And a number of the people are going to stand up and then, well, we've got this charity and we've got that charity. We're trying to raise funds for this, trying to raise funds for that. All of those funds that get raised by the business community are raised by the business community that supports each other. That you need to support the members of the chamber to be able to fund all these other things that go on. And that's a big part of what makes the community as strong as it is. A strong chamber, the Twin Lakes Builders Association, these types of things, and whether it's the Mountain Home Chamber, the Cotter Chamber, the Bull Shoals Chamber, all of these things, when you're looking for information, go there and see what flyers are there, see what information. I'm looking for a plumber. What have you got? You call the home builders. That's all part of the community. And that's something that we need to kind of keep in mind. We kind of take for granted sometimes that there's a piece in the paper this morning that Aldi's is coming. And I'm sure we'll hear about that at the meeting this morning. And it's going to be because Aldi's contacted the chamber and said, okay, this is what we want to do. What can you do to help us get that? So, that's enough for a chamber plug. Bo, you owe me.
Did you hear that, Bo?
But real estate, as far as people coming down here and people wanting to be here, this is still one of the top places where people want to be. I mean, it's just, the area is so spectacular, and the fishing's great, and the rivers, and now when you show people lake houses, I mean, they got big views now because that lake is really high. We went out. I was out on Bull Shoals Sunday, and from the time I went down on the dock until the time I came back up the dock, we were up about a foot. The gangplank that goes up to the shore was like almost parallel to the lake. It was like, whoa. So there's a lot of water. It's working its way down. You can see the Arkansas River down around Little Rock. They're having a lot of issues down there.
Yeah, they said Highway 16 at Perryville was actually just barely had a skim of water.
Yeah.
They had it open because it was passable.
Yeah.
Because once you come over the lock and dam right there, you go into Perry County.
But with like I say, with the people that are in town, if your home is listed, you want to go out, take a look at it with all the rain that we've had. Go out and pick up those twigs and the branches and stuff that have fallen down. Take a look at your gutters, get them cleaned off, get a broom. And if you can't do it, and be realistic, if you know you can't do it, try to get one of the neighborhood kids. There's a ton of handymen around that could come out and clean your gutters off or do the sweeping. Don't get up on a ladder if you shouldn't, and you know you should not. Oh, I used to, or I can, or I used to be a roofer. You know, and you hit that 70s, 80s.
If you did it in 1961,
if you heard something,
you may not do it in
exactly,
15.
exactly. And keep that in mind. I heard a bad story during the week about somebody who did that. It was, oh yeah, I can do it, and we don't heal nearly.
Recovering nicely,
well.
Thank you. Right?
Yeah. Well, we hope, because we don't always recover as well as we used to. But have somebody take a look. Have somebody go underneath the house, or you go underneath the house. Open up that the trap door in there. Take a sniff. I mean, with all the moisture that we've had, and take a look. If you see you've got moisture issues, then you want to, whether you're for sale or not, you want to make sure that your home is habitable. You know, you don't want to open up that door and find mushrooms hanging from the rafters down there, and that happens. I mean, you see some unusual things when you're in this business. You want to kind of be ahead of it. You know, if you find yourself coughing all the time, you can get that kind of mildewy type fungus that can grow. You want to address that. Like I say, you want to look at the gutters. You want to take a look, pick up the branches, pick up the debris that's come down with the rain. Take a look at your grass. You know, throw a little more seed out there and that's just part of being a homeowner. You know, the deferred maintenance is probably one of the biggest things that we run into. You know, where there was a little leak in a faucet and it wasn't addressed, and it turns into a much bigger issue than it would have otherwise. The water line that goes for the ice makers, those things can go, and they can cause a big little drip. You don't see it; it's in the back of the thing, and then all of a sudden you got water all over the floor.
Let me make one comment there. I learned the hard way.
Yes.
Use copper. Don't use plastic.
Or use good, if you're going to use plastic, use good plastic. There's the braided, you know, where it's encased in the...
Oh, really? No, I've not seen that.
See, and they've got like pressure things for the washers and dryers as well. If you haven't changed if you can remember the last time you changed the hoses on the washer or the dryer, you may want to give that, it's probably time to take another look at it, because then that's what happens. You hit these accidents and it's like, oh my God, what do we do?
But like you were saying on the refrigeration ice maker line, the one I was working on was under the house. Well, I was under there doing something else. I was getting wet. Where am I? I'm not sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like November.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. But I just caught it in the light just right to where you see this little mist. I mean, half the size of the pin.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't take much. I mean, that water is moving.
Yep.
You know, so, and then all of a sudden it gets bigger. And then once it reaches a certain point, then you just got a mess all over the place. In the basement like that, in these crawl spaces where how often you go visit that? Not very often, obviously. You can have an issue down there and not realize it. You know,
Yeah.
The only time that it may get caught is when the termite inspectors come through yearly to take a look and go, you got a leak down there underneath your kitchen. Yeah. Now deal with that.
Yeah.
So just preventive maintenance, things that you should be doing in a normal basis. Sweep the porch off if you're listed. You want to, when people pull into your driveway, you want that, wow. Go to Camp's Plants. Go buy a couple hanging baskets or a couple potted plants that you could put out on the front porch to make people go, oh, what a nice house. Let's go take a look. Mm-hmm. You want that welcoming, because that's the most important thing. When they pull into the driveway, when they pull up into the parking place, you want that wow, not that You want people to want to come in to the home. Take a look at your house. See how much your furniture. You're moving. Eventually, that house is going to sell. One way or the other, that house is going to sell.
Isn't the trick to go out of one house into the other without having to pull the hammer, nails, and saw to repair what you don't like to begin with?
Well,
I tell people
that you're going to buy 85% of the house.
Yeah,
if you like the floor plan, if you like the area, you like the neighborhood where it is, paint, things like that, you're going to change because you're going to personalize it for you. Mm-hmm. You may have to change a countertop here and there, but it's better that you as a buyer do that instead of the seller maybe putting it in, and then you go, I don't like that type of marble. I wanted granite, or whatever the situation may be. Builder beige paint is always good. I mean, that's always, that's always going to work. The neon greens and some of the things that you find. But even when you take people into the house and they got the kids' room done in canary yellow, you tell them that's what you do. It's paint. You know, it isn't that big of a deal. Don't go, oh my God, I couldn't live here. Yeah, you can. You know, and sometimes people just need to be talked through that. They don't always have that vision that you're looking for. So take a look at your home. If you're listed, I'm sure your agent went through with you and told you, well, you should do this and you should do that. Don't take on big projects. You know, you're better off to adjust the price because you're not going to get dollar for dollar back out. You know, you don't go in and start gutting out bathrooms saying, well, yeah, we're going to call you guys to come and list our house, but we got to redo the bathroom first. Let us come out and take a look at it and see what really needs to be done, or will you just be better off adjust the price so that the new guy can come in, do it the way they want it done, and it can actually sometimes be more attractive for them to do that. And it's just that everything is based on price. I mean, price is the motivator for everything.
Yep.
For advertising here, for cars, for obviously real estate, politicians. It's all it's all on how much money. Well, when they talk about the candidates, Republicans, that's the first thing they talk about is who can raise the most money. Not who's the most qualified. Yeah. Who's going to raise the most money? So I mean, it is. I mean, we are fortunately, thank God, we're in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
Mostly. We'd like to try to keep it that way.
I loved how he rolled his eyes right there.
Huh? This week in real estate, we had 68 new listings came on. There were 21 parcels of land, 3 commercial properties. 44 homes came on the market, and they came on in a range of $55,000 to $489,000. Average price coming on the market this week was $184,000. There were 13 sales, 5 parcels of land, a commercial property. 24 homes sold this week, and they sold in a range of $40,000 to $425,000. The average sale price was $124,000. The average listed price when those homes came on the market was $132,000. 179 days on market. So that 6-month range is about where we're at. And we've been real steady with that. We've been a little longer, but 6 months is a pretty good number. $2.9 million in real estate closed this week. There's still 58 pendings, 34 properties expired. 58 had price enhancements where they're coming out of winter and realizing that, okay, well, we didn't get much traffic, but now there's people here, so time to move this house along. There's 1,031 houses listed on the MLS. For 2014, year to date, there were 326 sales for $37.7 million. For 2015, year to date, there's been 350 sales for $42.6 million. So that's a pretty. We're working our way up. Last year we were up, and this year we're up from that. So. You know, it's not going to be a rocket ship, and we just want it to be a nice, steady rise. It'll be, let me see, the rocket ship ride is the reason that we're still in this train wreck that we're in now. So, but if you're thinking of buying something, give us a call. We can sell you anybody's listings. Obviously, we're in the MLS, and as you're looking online, as everyone does. retiredarkansas.net is a good source. We've got all the Century 21 listings on there.
Beautiful pictures, I might say.
And if you're going to be looking on the websites, my opinion, my best real estate advice that I can give you is stay off of Zillow, stay off of those. Go to realtor.com and search there, because all of their listings are going to be current. Sometimes you get on Zillow and some of these others, and they've got listings that may be 2 years old. They get paid by the click. So they don't care if they keep up with things or not. Realtor does. Obviously, Century 21 does. But you want to kind of keep that in mind, that Realtors are much better. And there's estimates and all that other nonsense marketing things.
Phone number, locations.
Phone number is 870-405-0793. Give my honey a call. Come visit us on the web, retiretoarkansas.net. We're at the main office across from McDonald's, but we're not always there. You got to give us a call, make an appointment. It is business, and you'll be much happier doing that than just showing up.
Bob and Linda Zdora, the Z-Team, Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs, 405-0793. Hey, there's a cookout at Van Meter Senior Center today. It's a fundraiser from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. I've got 2 tickets here. Somebody wants them, stop by and grab them. They're
cool.
yours. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
And free
Anyway,
food.
I'm not hearing what I'm supposed to be hearing. There it is. Be right back.